Yes, my people, welcome back to another video and welcome back to the Glory Hunter Challenge. Hopefully today's episode is more positive than yesterday's. Before we get into this video, I just wanted to quickly slightly apologise if I seemed very grumpy in the last episode, because I'm going away soon. Just sitting here pre-recording loads of videos just to make sure I get them out on time and so you lot don't miss an upload. So it's sort of like watching the same shit happen again and again and again and again. And because I'm having to sit here and genuinely play the game all day, it's taking its toll a little bit. And when I'm barely beating Borak in the Conference League, it's like it's infuriating. So I just wanted to apologise for that if I seemed very short-tempered. Hopefully today will not be like that, as we only have one live com today, as we face our old club Aston Villa at home, where hopefully we can beat them. And I wanted to play this game because obviously the Glory Hunters Challenge started with Villa, and then we made the choice to move on. And I also thought it'd be a good title thumbnail. Well, I thought it'd be a good title, so yeah. Anyway, we have played quite a few games since you were last here. As last time you were here, we faced off against Man United in the Premier League and we lost 1-0. And then we played against Borak. And as you can see, we've played quite a lot and we've been on a decent little run. So our first game, we lost 1-0 to Tottenham, where Xavi Simons scored in the first minute of the game, and then it was deadlock for the complete rest of the game, which is a little bit disappointing, especially to lose to Tottenham at home. I feel like we've lost most of our games at home this year, which is a bit disappointing, as they literally scored from kickoff. As Pedro Porro got the ball from Kulusevski. Kulusevski then tackled brilliantly by Quenda, but Enzo Fernandez gives it to Nico Paz, and it looks like Chelsea might be the team to go up at the end and score. But unfortunately, Tottenham regain possession, and then Destiny Adogi plays the ball to Kudus, who plays Matthias Tell. Destiny Adogi finds Matthias Tell again. Kudus into Sarr, and then Xavi Simons is there to tap home and make it 1-0. And that was the result in that game. We then played against Burnley and again picked up a 1-0 win, with Giovanni Quenda getting the only goal in this game. As Reece James with the throw finds Caicedo. Reece James finds Giovanni Quenda at the back post, headed away by Kyle Walker, and then it's put back in. Brun Larson trying to get Burnley out, sorry. Caicedo then finds Reece James, who finds Nico Paz, who finds Enzo Fernandez into Quenda, and Giovanni Quenda makes it 1-0. And of course, that was the only goal of that game, as we've only conceded one there in the first two games. We then beat Ferran Savros 2-0 in the Conference League, as Giovanni Quenda got the first goal and got the opener in this one, which is lovely. He's having a good season this year. I saw something that said he's on track for the most player of the matches in a Chelsea season, which is nice. As the ball comes in, it's headed away, but only as far as Nico Paz, as Enzo Fernandez then finds Reece James. Reece James trying to get it in the mixer, but it is cleared. Nico Paz then finding João Pedro, who slots in Quenda, and Giovanni Quenda just taps it past the goalkeeper to make it 1-0. João Pedro with the assist on that one then set up the second goal as well, when Nico Paz picked up the second of the game. As Ode goes in to that man, not even going to pretend. David, there you go, goes into David. Not even going to pretend to know how to pronounce that name. As Aniba gives it straight to Jarrell Hatto. And then Nico Paz finding João Pedro. João Pedro just waiting for that run of Nico Paz. Nico Paz taps it into the bottom corner to make it 2-0 and get the win in Europe, which is lovely. Played a lot of games off camera, didn't I? Bloody hell. We then lost 2-0 to Manchester City. I won't watch that because, with all due respect, I can't really be asked. We then picked up a 3-0 win in the Conference League against Viking with João Pedro, the provider in the last game we saw, turned goal scorer in this one. And I believe Giovanni Quenda was the one to get a brace of assists in this one instead of João Pedro, as it takes ages to load up. As Gestrom going back to Torferson into Sigurdsson. Is that That's not Gylfi Sigurdsson, is it? Because it says G. That's not Gylfi Sigurdsson. Surely that's not Gylfi Sigurdsson. I probably shouldn't call him that on YouTube. I'll probably get fucking demonetised or something. As it feels really hard to read the players' names. It feels really bright in this ground. Not sure why. As Reece James intercepts. As it looks like they're going to score. But Fofana gets the ball out and Quenda then finds João Pedro. It goes back to Nico Paz, who then finds Giovanni Quenda, who then finds João Pedro at the front post to make it 1-0 Chelsea, which is lovely. Giovanni Quenda then grabbed a second assist as Nico Paz grabbed the second goal for Chelsea in this one. As Colwell finds Jarrell Hatto, as Cucurella was injured during this period, who finds Quenda, gives it back. Them two play a 1-2, play a 1-3, a 1-4 even. As it looks like Nico Paz was going to score there, but he did not. As Quenda has another bite of the cherry, and Nico Paz doesn't score there either. So how long is this fucking highlight then? Feel like the highlight could have started in his hands, by the way. You didn't need to show me 3 lots, did you? As Quenda finds Nico Paz. Nico Paz then driving to the byline and passing it in to the bottom right corner to make it 2-0, which you love to see. Cole Palmer then made it 3 and sealed the victory for Chelsea with a penalty as he steps up and just slots it in to the bottom corner there. As we then go to the business end in the Premier League, as we picked up 3 wins in a row. And these were actually the... let's show you... We'll show you the Crystal Palace game because I don't want to show you all of them because that'll take too long. We'll show you the Palace game. As Eddie Nketiah got... Did that say Jose Mourinho? Or is it that... Did that say Jose Mourinho? I think it might do, because I saw Jose Mourinho was praising his thing after this game. I think Jose Mourinho might be Palace manager. As anyway, cross comes in from Pino. It's headed away, but only as far as Adam Wharton. Adam Wharton driving to the byline. Pulls it back to Tyreek Mitchell, who finds the cross. It's headed away, but only as far as Jordan Teze. Caicedo then clears, but it falls to Teze again. Will Hughes then significantly not as blonde as he should be, as Tyreek Mitchell finds Harvey Barnes, who pulls it across to Eddie Nketiah, who makes it 1-0 Crystal Palace. João Pedro then grabbed... It is Jose Mourinho. João Pedro then grabbed his first goal of the game in the 29th minute with a Reece James assist. As Reece James does really well, tries to find Nico Paz down the line, but Tyreek Mitchell does well to defend. Caicedo then giving it to Reece James again, who finds Nico Paz. Nico Paz playing that 1-2 with Reece James, who then does really well to find João Pedro in the middle. And João Pedro equalises for Chelsea here. João Pedro then grabbed his second of the game through a Nico Paz assist. As Nico Paz dispossesses, but then gets dispossessed from Harvey Barnes. And it's straight into Garcia's hands there. As Colwell goes in to Cucurella, who then finds Giovanni Quenda. Cucurella again, trying to find Nico Paz. Again, could have started the highlight here. It does wind me up a bit that the highlights are so long. As Nico Paz finds the ball through to João Pedro, who just slots it into the bottom corner past Walter Benitez to make it 2-1 and grab his second of the game. Yoane Wissa then equalises for Crystal Palace to make it 2-2. I'm not sure why the crowd are so loud here. As Teze finds Lacroix as he goes all the way back, who then finds Chris Richards into Tyreek Mitchell. He puts a good ball in, and Pino recovers and plays a 1-2 with Teze, and then does really well to put it back to Yoane Wissa, who gets the equaliser for Crystal Palace. But it was Crystal Palace's final goal of the game, as Enzo Fernandez makes it 3-2 to Chelsea. I genuinely think, though, showing these highlights could be half the amount of time. As Enzo Fernandez gives the ball away too cheaply in midfield there. As João Pedro driving, pulls it back to Enzo Fernandez, who plays a 1-2 and goes for goal. It's a shit goal. So makes it 3-2. And then the final goal of the game was the hat-trick by João Pedro, as Fernandez finds Cucurella, and then João Pedro makes it 3 for him on the day. And João Pedro actually got himself a few goals here, as he got 2 against Fulham, 3 in this game, and then 1 in that game, which is really good. Just to show you, we are through in the Conference League, top of the Conference League, 6 out of 6, and we sit 4th place in the Premier League. So, our lineup to face Aston Villa today: I have moved Nico Paz into an attacking midfielder role and brought Fernandez back. So I've changed the tactic a little bit, and it seems to be working a little bit better. It's Garcia in goal, James, Fofana, Colville and Cucurella as the back 4, with a midfield 2 of Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. Cole Palmer and Quenda on the wings, with Nico Paz partnering João Pedro, who leads the line on really good form for Chelsea. So let's get into this game against our former club and see how the villains will be lining up for it. Okay then, let's see how much their team has changed from when we were in charge. They've gone with the lineup of Martinez, Matty Cash, Bogard, Torres and Digne as the midfield, as the back 4, sorry. A midfield 2 of Tielemans and Onana. As Boubacar Kamara comes out, with Morgan Rogers on the right, John McGinn on the left, with Harvey Elliott in the 10 and Ollie Watkins leading the line. We are on good form at the minute, to be fair. 4 wins in our last 4, I do believe. It's just confirmation of that Chelsea lineup moving to a 4-2-3-1 instead of a 4-3-3 now. Same as Aston Villa, as it is a very familiar 11. And Aston Villa sit in 6th place, 4 points behind us so far. As Ollie Watkins gets us underway for this game. It's a weird sight playing against Villa. Normally, I'd be cheering Villa on. Fuck's sake. This game's so broken sometimes, honestly. As Rodgers, starting on the left it looks, for Chelsea. As Morgan Rodgers cutting in for Villa, going all the way, and forces a good save from Garcia in the Chelsea goal. It feels weird. Normally, I'm hoping Rodgers does really well and he drives through and scores, but now I want nothing to do with this club. As I wonder, actually, how are Villa getting on in the Champions League? They lost to Real Madrid, they lost to Galatasaray, beat Sparta Prague, beat Lugano, beat PSV. Seems to be doing alright. Oh yeah, I would have got been in the Community Shield as well, wouldn't I? Of course, because I won the FA Cup. Forgot about that. As not much has happened in this game since... How were you playing Digne as an inverted wing-back? What's he doing? Digne was unbelievable on the overlap last year. As anyway, not much has happened since that Morgan Rodgers effort that was pushed past the post by Garcia. We are on key highlights, right? Yeah, fantastic. It's Cucurella with the throw for Chelsea. Goes to Nico Paz. Cucurella finding João Pedro. Plays it back to Fernandez. To Caicedo. Reece James knocking it past Digne and pulls it across, and Cole Palmer is there. And Aston Villa, Martinez is furious, appealing for something here. It will go to a VAR check, and VAR are checking, and it has been awarded. Cole Palmer puts us 1-0 up against Villa, against my former side, as Reece James does really well. It's a good save from Martinez initially, but Palmer reacts quickest and puts Chelsea 1-0 up here at Stamford Bridge. This is a big game, to be fair, because Villa are 6th and obviously came 3rd last year. Granted, under me, but good side, obviously. As Watkins reacts quicker than Caicedo there, but gives the ball straight to Reece James. Obviously, top goal scorer in the Premier League last year, as I believe it probably will be. Yeah, there you go. That is the half-time whistle. We go into the break. Chelsea 1, Aston Villa 0. And this puts us above United, which is really good. As United, bloody hell, they were like 8 points above us at one point. So they must have been shit recently. I know we've been really good, but they must have been pretty poor. As João Pedro gets us underway for this second half. As Arsenal, by the way, Arteta is insecure. So I'm tempted to maybe go to Arsenal at the end of the year. Just as I think I stand a better chance of winning the Premier League with Arsenal than I do with Chelsea. As Watkins finds Colwill. Quenda now finding Reece James. Reece James battling with Digne, and Digne gets it out, but Cucurella is there, and it falls to Nico Paz. And Nico Paz on the volley puts Liverpool. Why do I keep saying Liverpool? Puts Chelsea 2-0 up against Aston Villa. And this is a much better live comp performance, as Cucurella does really well. And João Pedro just sets it in the air, and Nico Paz with a rifle into the top corner. As Cole Palmer running down the wing finds Reece James, who puts a good ball in, and it falls to Enzo Fernandez. And John McGinn clears. Cucurella now cutting in and goes for goal, and it's just over from Cucurella. Not a bad effort there though. as we approach the final 20 minutes here. If we just look at the league table, Bournemouth up in 5th now. Aston Villa dropped to 8th. It is close though, only 1 point separating 5th and 8th, but we escape that pack a little bit with a win here, which is lovely. As we are going to make some changes. Quenda had a bit of a quiet game here so far. We'll leave Nico Paz on as he is having a good game. Jarrell Hatto can come on. I'm going to bring Esteban on. And we'll bring Lavia on as well. John McGinn trying to find someone in the middle, but it's cleared, but only as far as Bogard. Pau Torres now, finding Bogard. Kamara back into Onana, who plays out to Sulemana, who finds Ollie Watkins, and it's a fantastic save from Garcia in the Chelsea goal. He really wants that clean sheet. So Man United find themselves 1-0 up and stay ahead of us now, unfortunately, as we go into the final 5 minutes here at Stamford Bridge. Ollie Watkins not having a great game here as Liverpool 3-0 up against Norwich. Gusto goes back to Fofana, then finds Colwell. We look like a much better side with Nico Paz that little bit further forward. It's Garnacho. Can he find Hatto? He does find Hatto, who pulls it across. And it's a good save from Martinez to save the bacon of the Aston Villa defender there, as it is a corner for Chelsea. Enzo Fernandez to take. Can we get a third? It would be a really good win if we could. It's a good ball headed away by Tomiyasu, but only as far as Garnacho. Garnacho running at John McGinn here and cutting inside, and Garnacho goes for goal. And it's a good save, I believe, from Martinez, but it's good defending either way, as Maatsen now goes inside to Rodgers. I believe that will probably be the last attack of the game, as Brighton are 2-1 up against United. I just saw there. As Paz goes to Fernandez, and it hits the post, and that will be the final whistle. Chelsea 2, Aston Villa 0. We manage to defeat our former side of this Glory Hunter challenge, and Brighton do beat Man United, so we go 3rd as well, which is lovely. I'll just take Champions League football and the Conference League. That's my aim for this year. Maybe try and close up to Liverpool a little bit. To be fair, we can go 5 points behind, which isn't too bad. But more importantly, we could go 9 points ahead of 5th, which is nice. So, yeah, I just wanted to quickly, how long have we been recording? About 20 odd minutes. So, the Arsenal job is insecure. My thinking is, if Arteta gets sacked towards the end of the year and I apply and they give me the job, if I could say at the end of the season, and I can win the Conference League and then go to Arsenal, who could get Europa League football, for example. Arsenal are better than us. So that could be something good to do. They spent 55 million on Keith Schmidt. Bloody hell, that's not a good signing. Anyway, that is something that I am thinking about doing. I think I am going to be back for... I think I might be back for the Conference League round of 16. So I will see you all there tomorrow. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Comment down below what you want to see from me in the future regarding more Football Manager 26 content. And thank you very much for the love and support on all the videos and everything as usual. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.